often find yourself referring to your hair as unruly, unmanageable, untamable, wild, or crazy, or all the above. First of all, same, like absolutely 100%. Feel your pain. Second, today we are going to be testing out, or I'm going to be testing out so that you don't have to, the entire line of the BC Bonacure Keratin Smooth. Should not necessarily scare you. Alright, yeah, a good tip. Hola gente, what is up my people? So you already know the plan for today. I actually have already tried the BC Bonacure Keratin Smooth hair mask on its own before, and well, let's just say that video that's going to be linked right here in the eye at the corner actually got me very curious about what the other products of the line could do for my crazy hair. I would say that over the years with this hair care testing series, I've had more hits than misses with Schwarzkopf. They actually do have a very nice price-quality ratio. I'm sure many of you guys will agree. So I thought, why not test out an entire line? Kind of, you know, give them that vote of confidence and see if they're actually onto something with the other two steps that I haven't tried. So just for context, truly unruly hair that's super porous. Maybe it's genetic, maybe it's because of the chemical process you do to your hair, such as, you know, highlighting and other things like that. Almost impossible to get like super straight, like sleek straight, even after using an excellent blow dryer and a flat iron. You will experience some type of like puff effect, as I like to call it. This is not meant to straighten the hair, it's just targeting frizz. So before we get started with the shampoo, let me show you guys the before. Brace yourselves. Granted, it has been up in a low bun for a few hours, so that kind of messes things up even worse. So this is the before. You can see I have quite a bit of frizz, pretty porous. Blonde and genetically frizzy hair is very high maintenance, especially if you do like that straighter look. And I guess I must add that today is not particularly humid. It's actually a pretty nice day, so it's not as wild as it could be. Let's get started and see what this line can do for my hair. So let's start with the BC Bonacure Keratin Smooth Perfect Micellar Shampoo. We have here 250 mils or 8.5 fluid ounces, which is, I guess, a reasonable amount for a shampoo, especially if you don't wash your hair every single day. And also it says here that it contains a self-perfector technology in its formula that is meant to deeply cleanse the hair while also taming the hair. So we'll see how well it goes. Once again, specifically targeting unmanageable hair. If you normally don't struggle with frizz, there's absolutely no need for you to even try this. This shampoo contains both sulfates and sodium. So if your hairdresser has recommended you for some chemical process your hair has to stay away from that type of shampoo, then please don't reach out for this one. The whole sulfate thing should not necessarily scare you. In fact, clarifying shampoos that are meant to deep clean the hair, kind of reset it and prevent buildup of, you know, different products we use, those usually contain sulfates, not sulfates, sulfates. And that goes for all of you there always complimenting my English. No, I make tons of mistakes all the time and I edit most of them out. But one of the ingredients I'm most excited about is hydrolyzed keratin, which is in the name and it is quite up in the full ingredients list, so it should be quite present in the formulation. The application is just like any other shampoo. There's nothing fancy or strange about it, so let's jump right into the shower and see how this goes. not one of those shampoos that feels super rich and creamy. A lot of smoothing shampoos do. What comes to mind is the Moroccan oil hydrating shampoo that's very, very rich. So this one is different. As you can see, it's a very, very light, translucent product, and it smells good, but some people, I think, could feel that it smells a little bit too chemical. Yeah, it's like an artificial smell, which is okay with me, especially if it's going to smooth out my hair. And the last thing is, look at all these tangles. Yeah, if you're looking for one of those shampoos that is going to speed up the detangling process, not that most shampoos don't even promise that, but just thought I'd mention that. Okay, let's move on to the next step and see what happens with this hair. The Keratin Smooth Treatment for Rebellious Hair. Contains both dimethicone and amodimethicone. So just thought I'd mention it. It's not a silicone-free type of product. And once again, the most important ingredient, that's hydrolyzed keratin, is quite up in the ingredients list. And that's the one ingredient that I am most interested in. 200 mils, 6.7 fluid ounces. Just as reference, Keratin's hair mask is 250 mils. So yeah, a little bit smaller than other high-end masks, but the price is not that bad. Definitely not so up there, not Keratin's level. I feel that, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a universally liked fragrance, if that makes sense. I am going to put half of my hair up so that I can start applying in sections. And start applying, ooh, thick. I had forgotten how thick this is. I like this so much. So here's what I do and what worked for me last time. I use a lot of product and really take my time to massage it in there. There you have it. Same on this side. Oh, what do we do with the robe? Okay, let's do that. And contrary to other hair masks, I do come pretty close to the root, but without actually touching the scalp. Now let's do the final layer. So if you go by the instructions, you can leave these on anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. And I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, that was as easy to rinse out as a conditioner, and surprisingly so, because it actually is a quite thick mask, like I mentioned. So I don't see like huge detangling effect, but it's also not the worst mask when it comes to that. Yeah, it looks pretty, not naughty with knots. Especially if you are like me and you like going closer to the root with a smoothing mask. I guess a good tip and an obvious one is to spend some time, rinsing out this entire area. We don't want greasy roots or scalp buildup or anything like that. Let's move on to step 3, which is of course the Smooth Perfect Smoothing Cream for Unmanageable Hair. You get 125 mils or 4.25 fluid ounces, just as a reference. In the Olaplex number 6 Bond Smoother, which is a leave-in styling product, you get 100 mils or 3.3 fluid ounces. So just so you know, the price is really good. I'm not saying they're comparable because they do different things, but just so we know how much quantity of product we're getting for our money. So it's funny because actually the formulation of this smoothing cream is similar, not exactly, but it is quite similar to the Keratin Smooth Perfect treatment that I just applied. So what we're going to do is apply a small amount. Small, it really depends on your hair. And I'm gonna spread this through evenly. I do have more hair than you probably can see on camera. Kind of goes a little bit under. And again, I'm going to go slightly upwards, closer to the root than I would generally do with a leave-in product. I feel that my top layer being shorter and more highlighted, I have a lot more frizz than the bottom layers. So I'm gonna try to apply more product there without hopefully overdoing it. And now it's time to blow dry. I'm going to be using the IQ Perfetto by Gamma Italy. Super light, the tiniest, smallest, lightest hair dryer with professional power, and it matches my robe. So I'll link my first impressions video right here in the eye at the corner so that you learn more about it. Let's do this. So the first thing I want to say is that I am going to use the flat iron, but honestly, I don't think I will need it because this is pretty sleek straight for me. Like, how much straighter could I possibly go? The other thing is it's so easy to get to this point. I would even advise you to try with a paddle brush if you are not good with the round brush, because honestly, blow drying after doing all these 3 steps is not bad at all. I mean, it's quite easy, and I believe it could be quite beginner friendly. So if you generally have a hard time or it's a huge workout to blow dry your hair and get it looking this straight, I think you should consider these 3 products. But and you knew there was a bet coming. I'm gonna check in tomorrow to see how things are, and I'm also going to go in with the flat iron. I do advise you to blow dry and go in with a flat iron afterwards with any keratin treatment. Oh, and the other thing I noticed while I was blow drying is that the hair feels, how can I say this? Like squeaky clean against the fingers. Felt it before with other keratin treatments, so it may not be just a coincidence. I mean, so far so good. My hair looks pretty sealed. Maybe there's a teeny bit of frizz in here. How much straighter could we go? Well, we're gonna try. My Nume flat iron, so gorgeous in this color. By the way, as always, every single product used and mentioned throughout this video is going to be linked down below. But if this is not up your alley, if this is not something you're interested in, you can still shop through my links to all the beauty stores out there, and that really helps support the channel. And this comb right here, which is not very expensive at all if you already have a flat iron and you don't want to buy the Nume set. You can buy it separately. Again, it's going to be linked down below. It just makes my life so much easier when I had to straighten my hair with a flat iron. Really gives you the right amount of tension, and you make sure you don't have your hair all tangled up. I think I'm gonna go in here where I said that I still have some frizz, because maybe I didn't apply as much heat in there with the blow dryer. So there we go. So with keratin treatments, it's important to heat activate section by section. Okay, this is very interesting. It's like the product in contact with heat is now just making it feel a lot softer than the results just after blow drying. I don't have that kind of a squeaky clean feeling anymore, and it just feels more flexible and smoother. Sealed this is looking. That's pretty nice. All this work for my hair to look and feel naturally sleek straight. What I love about the Nume hair straightener, which is not exclusive to the Nume, but in general you want plates that glide through the hair as opposed to those metallic plates that were used back in the day that you hear like that's kind of very damaging, and you know the flat iron is already damaging on its own. So always pairing it with keratin products or thermo-activated products or with good heat protectants is always the way to go, and having really nice and smooth and slippery plates is also crucial to avoid as much as possible a certain percentage of the damage that of course it's going to happen with any heat tool. Well, would you look at that? I can't believe I'm going to say this, but the only downside to going in this route of being super sleek straight is that of course you lose some of that volume and bounce that just a blow dryer and the round brush will give you. So it's a matter of personal preference, and sometimes it's about what's trendy at the time. Actually, I do hear that it is in Schwarzkopf's plan to discontinue this line. I have no idea why. Hopefully these guys are planning something even better. The results are not permanent, but they are supposed to last up to 3 days. So when I edit, I'm going to insert right here, right now, an update from the following days to let you guys know how this goes. We need to talk. So I wake up this morning and I'm super curious to see how my hair is looking. I was shocked when I looked at my hair in the mirror. Even before that, just by touching my hair, I was like, what happened here? After all that I take care of it, this is the downside of testing out products constantly and not just sticking to what works, which is what you should be doing instead. So I'm gonna have to do some damage control. That's why I test out hair care products, so that this does not happen to you, and it does happen to me instead. So where do I even begin? First of all, it did not hold on to styling. As you can see, I have a wave. So all the sleek and super straightness that we had achieved after all that work, gone. Just 24 hours later. And you may be thinking like, Heidi, of course that is going to happen, but these products are promising up to 72 hours of frizz control. Well, they look super dehydrated and frizzy and they're like stiff. I just don't like this. It reminds me so much of that John Frieda anti-frizz heat protectant that I hated so much. It kind of produced, I think it was even worse than this, but it was really bad. There's 3 possible suspects: the shampoo, the smoothing cream, or yours truly. So I'm going to begin with the shampoo. I don't think the shampoo did it, although my hair did feel quite dry after it. Honestly, I almost 100% believe it was the smoothing cream. And that is because I had already tested out the Keratin Smooth Perfect treatment, and this alone gave me very, very manageable and sleek looking hair. And once again, we're not in a particularly humid couple of days, so it's definitely not the weather. Maybe I applied way too much smoothing cream. I'm not really sure. I don't think so, and even if I did, why would it be so drying? I'm very, very hugely disappointed, borderline happy that they're discontinuing this line. If it's 6 or the new Olaplex number 9, they both do a much better job at frizz control and they do not dehydrate the hair. So there's something in here that my hair did not like. That's what I believe. So will I repurchase for sure? No, I will probably just not use it at all. I just keep these type of products in a drawer. It's what happened to me. So that is all I have to report. All right, that is it for today, guys. I hope this video helped you in some way, or at least that I shared enough information about this entire experience with the Smooth Keratin line so that you can make an informed and hopefully the right purchase decision for you. And what works for me may not work for you. Thank you so, so much for watching, for stopping by today, and I will catch up with you all again on my next one.